proof of work is kind of like essential to Ethereum. Even most of the people complain about like high gas fee, very slow transaction, but I still believe proof of work actually basically provide a very good foundation for Ethereum infrastructure, which, as we all know, today is over around $60 billion worth of crypto assets on Ethereum, all guarded by a proof of work. So that's why I believe we still need a chance to keep proof of work for Ethereum in the future. So that's why I support proof of work for Ethereum.
So Justin, when we look at the price of ETH over the past several months, obviously it's down significantly. Nonetheless, it seems to have rebounded with the successful merges or successful signs that the merge was going to happen. Doesn't this kind of say at least that the market sort of favors here proof of stake, that it doesn't necessarily want proof of work for Ethereum? Again, bringing up that whole thing about the excessive amounts of costs to do transactions there.
Yes. First of all, I'm a proof of stake protocol founder. So I founded Tron in 2017, and Tron is a proof of stake network. So we have done proof of stake 5 years ahead of Ethereum. But I still think a smart contract with proof of work is actually essential to the whole crypto industry. Because after Ethereum moved to proof of stake, I think the whole proof of stake ecosystem will be filled with Tron, BSC, Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana. Is all proof of stake based blockchain protocol. But for proof of work, only Bitcoin, basically. I mean, Monero, Zcash, but none of them is smart contract based. So that's why I believe a smart contract based proof of work, which is Ethereum, ETHW, post-merge, probably going to be the best choice for developers if they still want to develop something new on Ethereum.
Well, it's certainly a moneymaker. Oh, go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, why is it better for developers?
First of all, I think at least for, I think 50% of the crypto communities still believe proof of work is safer and more decentralized than proof of stake. Especially, I think, among those people favor Bitcoin and really favor mining and also the algorithm developed by Satoshi. I think they have this kind of the tradition. They trust proof of work network. They favor proof of work network more than POS network. I think that's the first part of the logic here. And the second part, I think, is because there is a very large miner-based community. I think today, all the equipment invest on mining Ethereum is over $10 billion US. And also they have developed a very sophisticated mining machine for all the proof of work network. So that's why I believe a new proof of work network will also rely on those very mature infrastructure building by miner for the past 10 years.
I want to touch on that last point that you made there. Miners, this is a huge industry for them, and it's how they make their living. Miners produced over $620 million worth of Ether in July alone, yes, according to some CoinDesk data that we have. And so a lot of prominent Chinese miners are proposing this hard fork because, they still want to continue to support this new proof of work version of the chain that could theoretically keep their financial activity intact. And Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, over the past week at ETH Seoul, was saying that ETHW proponents are just trying to make a quick buck. Is that a valid comment.
Yes. First of all, for Poloniex to support ETH fork is not for profit at all, because currently the ETHS and the ETHW trade on Poloniex is all a zero trading fee, and also ETHW is not premise. So if Vitalik and I, like everyone in the world, will get equivalent amount of the airdrop, basically hard fork, in the network. So there's no like any developers or leaders making more like ETHW than other people. So that's why I think at least for Poloniex to support its fork, I think it's just for building a POW solution for Ethereum network. I think that's for us. And also for miner, obviously, I think there is a big difference on Vitalik and basically Ethereum Foundation and miner. Miner believe they contribute a huge contribution to Ethereum system, but obviously Ethereum developers don't see this as a contribution, right? But I think eventually we can have like a two network, proof of work Ethereum network and the proof of stake network compete together. So we will know, right, which one market favor the most, proof of stake or proof of work.
So, Justin, what's this about USDD being the first stablecoin that will be on the proof of work Ethereum system? What exactly is that about?
Yeah, sure. I think the USDD is the first stablecoin to announce to support proof of work Ethereum network post-merge. So I think right now, most of the protocol and DeFi protocol in the world, they don't support Ethereum proof of work post-merge. So that's why I think USDD, Tron-based stablecoin, and also Ape NFT, which is an NFT platform, we all want to be the first solution when everybody use Ethereum proof of work post-merge period of time.
So I got to ask you about this because, I mean, obviously, and you've probably been asked this a bunch of times, but look, we had UST, that was a big fiasco. We've had a bunch of issues with algorithmic stablecoins. The general model seems to be a complete mess because it relies, for the most part, this idea that there will be demand for balancers, et cetera, to keep it going, that essentially USDD or UST or any kind of stablecoin, algorithmic stablecoin, is basically a Ponzi. USDD lost its peg last month. It went down to 94 cents or so. Well, why should anybody use an algorithmic stablecoin after this kind of a massive fiasco that took $60 billion of value out of the markets in almost overnight?
Yes, first of all, I think, so first of all, I believe UST and Luna manage their treasury and the stable coin badly. So basically, it's just like the central bank of Zimbabwe, they manage their fiat in a terrible way, which the value of the network and the token itself collapsed dramatically, I think in May. But I think decentralized stablecoin, right, just like USDD's name, decentralized US dollar, I think is still essential to our industry because, as we all know, all the component of DeFi today is all decentralized, right? We have decentralized Oracle, decentralized smart contract, and also Ethereum, like Tron, all the native token is decentralized, but only one part is most of the time is centralized, is stablecoin. So that's why I believe we need to finish the last component of DeFi protocol and basically change it to decentralized. That's why I think in the algorithm itself for the stablecoin, it's just probably only 10% of the component to keep the decentralized stablecoin stable. We have lots of other mechanisms we can use to keep the stablecoin stable. For example, recently we launched PSM, which is also a very common maker. Basically allow users to use regulated centralized stablecoin like USDT, USDC to mint decentralized stablecoin. And also at the same time, we will still have different crypto assets used as over collateralized assets for the stablecoin. For example, today, USDD, you have BTC, TRX, and also USDT and USDC as a collateralized assets for the stablecoin.
USDT was... Yeah. Yes, I know, but UST allegedly, they went on a buying spree for a bunch of Bitcoin as a potential collateral. Yes. But of course, the price of Bitcoin was falling. So, yes. If you have an unstable collateral backing a stable coin, doesn't that sort of create this conflict as to whether or not you can maintain its peg?
Yes. I think first of all, it is very important to keep over collateralized all the time. So I think right now, USDD, of course, we are 300% over collateralized, which is very healthy. But I think it is still very important, I think at least in my understanding, to keep the collateralized rate over 110% overall. I think that's the first thing. So obviously, UST is super under collateralized, right? They only have probably like 20% collateralization rate for the stablecoin they are holding. I think that's the first thing. And the second thing, of course, I think it's just like Central Bank of China, Central Bank of Hong Kong. You need to hold different collateralized assets, but at the same time, you need to manage in a good way, right? So that's why I think Central Bank holding gold and other assets, like Central Bank MAS in Singapore, they also hold different investment, but also you always need to invest like wisely, right? That's also the problem of like Luna. They invest Bitcoin in a very high price, which basically realize a huge loss when like Bitcoin goes down. So that's why I think if we really want to use other assets as a collateralized assets, you also need to buy in a smart move, right? So basically buy it in a cheap price, which can always make the overall central bank to make money.
Yeah, all right. I'm still a little skeptical. I mean, I'm not sure. USDD has already depegged, so you never know. I don't know. With the down markets and the uncertainty with these balancer tokens and they're keeping their value, it is quite risky. Nevertheless, I want to get your take on how long do you think this crypto winter will last, and are we in a crypto winter?
Yes. Sure. First of all, I think we're definitely in a crypto winter. So not only I think USDD fall to depeg to 94%, even USDC, USDT as a centralized stablecoin also went down. I think USDT is went down to 92% on Binance, and USDC also went down to 95 cents in Binance as well at that time. So that's why I think all the stablecoin even goes down, because the market, I think, feel super panic at that time. I believe right now, I think at least in short period of time, I will say in 1 to 3 months, right now we are still in a small bull run, because right now Federal Reserve, they won't gonna hike interest in at least 2 months. And also for the market itself, I think since the leverage in a very long time. So right now, I think that's why we see the price increase, right? Since I think right now everything is just recover from the leverage. But I think still in the next like 6 to 12 months, I think we're still in the bull markets. We need to prepare like more cash, prepare for enough cash flow if you are building business. And also if you are investors, I still believe this is not time you should like all in to invest into crypto right now?